For this video, we're going to talk about the pivot function that's available in all lists when we do a query. I'm going to bring down my 3,924 contribution records. I'm also going to load a preset format that's just basic. It's just got enough columns in there for me to run a couple of pivots. Now, I can do some pivots on what a pivot is, by the way. It's a way for you to summarize data based on certain columns. So, for instance, I might want to know what my total contributions are by city. So I'm going to go to my pivot, and I've got these three columns: row labels, which are the labels that you want appeared on the left side of your sheet of paper; column labels, those that appear across the top; and data, what is it you want summarized. So what I want is by city on the row labels. So down the side of the left side of the sheet of paper is going to be my city names. I won't use any column labels at the top. And on my data, I'm going to say I want to total up the amount. I can also do a count, which I do this frequently to see how many of certain transactions there are. I'll click OK, and pretty quickly I get my results. And there's my amount by city. So I've got some where there's no city. In other words, I got some donors out there that I don't have an address for. But here they are alphabetically. If I'd like to see by dollars, I can go, here's Minneapolis is my largest, St. Paul is my next, and so on. I can see Duluth and so on as to what cities are doing my biggest donations are coming from. Alright, I've reset the screen. One of the things you're going to notice in my contribution list is I've got a cycle name here which lists out the years in which I've received my contributions. I've also got an event name when applicable. Not every single transaction has got an event. You'll see quite a few empties in here, blanks, but some have got some. I may want to see how my events have done. We have other reports for this, but sometimes I like to do it by pivot because the pivots are exportable, whereas our reports are not. So if you were to run some of these reports over here in this area, those are not exportable to Excel, whereas the pivots are. So I'm going to run another pivot, and on the pivot I'm going to say the events are going to be my row labels. Now I am going to add column labels. So across the top I want to break this down by the year. So in that case, cycle name. I'm now going to go over to Data tab and select the Amount column, choose OK. And my results are my event name column is here. So by event, here's my grand total overall, the $4 million that have been brought in. And by year, I can see that the one where I've got no events at all on it have come in year after year, of course. That would be my regular unassigned donations. But I can see that my Come Hug a Bear event, it started in 2008, 9, 10, and 11. I have been raising dollars on that. And you can see the same thing for my 2011 Gala fundraiser. Okay, it really doesn't probably make sense that I've got dollars from 2008 in there. Nevertheless, I've attributed those to that event, and it's reporting it as such. And so now from here I could elect to print this if I wanted to see it on paper. There is my report, or I can export this and send it out to Excel. I won't bother at this point. I've done that in previous videos. I can pivot that information in the opposite direction. So instead of my years across the top, I may want my years down the side. That's all right. So I'll select my pivot again. I'll choose cycle name for my row labels. For my column labels, I will choose the event name. And again, on the data, I'm selecting the amount. What is it that I want to total, or what I want to do? I want to total up the amount column. Again, I could show the counts in there as well. And now I've got something once again, when exported, I've got the years identified here, 2008, 9, 10, 11, and so on. And the data is listed this way, so I could verify totals, or I could do some other things in Excel if I chose to. So I can swing the pivot either way I like.